This is my Casio A158WA, or the most faithful approximation that I can show you. I lost it, right here, in this dank pond, and we tried to retrieve it when it happened, but we had a different mission that day, so we didn't. It was a new mission that I now had to see through, and I recruited Tristan, so now we had a mission. We would start our expedition at the peak of Washington Mountain, venture down into the Creek of Malibu, and be back by sundown to the Lake of Silver for a gathering of the arts. We started the day like any other, with burpees,
This is everything. Yes, it is.
hugs, and crows. T crushed a VCR and dropped off some pieces to adorn the studio bathroom. Back onto the 101 to get the necessary hydrocarbons and boy fuel for our journey. Then the 405 to the 134. Music was listened to and vibes were had, but when we got there was a palpable sense of loss and unknowing.
What time is it?
Would we succeed in our mission of finding the lost timepiece? Would it all be in vain? Or would we return victorious? We wouldn't know until we tried. So, we set out a game plan and started the trek. The sun baked and the feet stepped, but the people below still played away, unaware of our quest that day. Once we had descended into the valley, we saw that people had now gathered at the once dank pond. What was previously a powerful body of water in the wet season has now been turned into a point of recreation in the dry, but we would still need to be careful, for who knew what lurked under her waters. When we reached the rock that the watch was in, we cast our magnet and waited.
You're not finding it?
So deep.
Is it really deep right there?
It's still going.
It's still going
It
down.
was too deep, too narrow, and too dark to dive properly, so when we felt as though there had been some way to fix it, we reeled. And reeled, and out came of the murky waters we saw rocks.
Iron?
But it was just the first cast, so we tried again. Tried repositioning, waiting. A thought came up in that moment of waiting, staring at the ferrous material we had resurfaced. Was the watch magnetic? Was this all for nothing? A journey prepped with good intentions and deficient tools? Was all the climbing and hiking and driving in vain? We didn't know. So we decided to take a break. And then we kept breaking. And then Hooli came, and he braked hard. We were gonna keep diving forward, but the water was deep. This deep. We conceded that the waters and the nipping fish would be the keepers of the watch and the takers of our cannonballs. But we couldn't stay here for long. We were expected across town soon, and the concrete congestion was setting in. And while we were temporarily left with more than what we came with, there was no watch on my wrist, and I still didn't know what time it was. But we knew by the sun that we needed to hightail our way back to the Prius. So that's what we did. And when we got back, we debriefed.
Would be fine. No. No.
The excursion back should have had an air of defeat, but instead it felt as if we had accomplished something great. And maybe we had, but we weren't really thinking about it. There were people waiting. And when we finally got to the people who were waiting, we thought about it even less. I think because these are great people. And the people we didn't know also lifted our spirits. When we left the outing, we were driving home. We talked about the hours we had had, and even though it was beautiful, the conversation had shifted to how we really didn't get all that we wanted out of it. Whether that was in the form of an object or in the way that somebody important said or didn't say something that we really wanted them to. But I think it's okay. I don't really think that's what the day was about.